Hey guys, today we're talking about how to do pelvic floor exercises during pregnancy, as well as 3 self-assessments to ensure that you're doing them correctly, and also a daily pelvic exercise routine to help prepare for labor and prepare for the fastest recovery after and prevent leaking after baby as well. My name is Jessica Bumble. I'm a pre and postnatal fitness instructor, and if you like videos like these, we put out pregnancy and postpartum videos every week. And if you want to support me, consider subscribing and dinging the notification bell to get notified every week when we put out a new video. Of course, this is general information only, and I always recommend going to speak to your own doctor or a pelvic floor physiotherapist. They are amazing and can give you individualized advice. Our pelvic floor muscles are a really important part of our core, and they hold up our organs as well as during pregnancy. They're going to hold up baby and placenta and everything else extra that's happening in there. So they attach from our pubic bone to our tailbone and then our seat bones on either side, making a hammock to hold everything in. We have 2 types of muscle fibers in our pelvic floor muscles. So we have our slow twitch or our type 1 muscles, which are constantly engaged. There are endurance and they are a little bit activated to keep everything holding in all the time. And then we have our type 2 or our fast twitch fibers that protect us when we sneeze or laugh. And we really want to work on these to prevent any leaking when we're sneezing or laughing. You can do pelvic floor exercises in a variety of different positions. If you're in your first trimester, then sitting on a ball or sitting on a chair is a good position. If you're in your second trimester, actually, then being on your hands and knees is a good position. And then if you're in your third trimester, when your belly is big and heavy, then actually finding a comfortable position and side lying can be a good position to do them in. There are a couple of different cues that can be helpful when you are doing your pelvic floor exercises. So the common one that you hear is to stop the flow of urine. And if that works for you, then I would also encourage you to think of lifting up a little bit. The cue that's my favorite is picturing a blueberry or a raisin at the opening of your vagina and sucking it up into my vagina. And then another cue that is helpful is picturing there is a string from your belly button to the opening of your vagina, and you are cinching up and shortening that string as you kegel. Those are the 3 cues that I find helpful. If you have another cue that is helpful for you, please share that in the comments below. I'm sure that other moms would love to hear other options as well. Ideally, we just want to be activating around the vagina and not around the anus. But in the beginning, if you haven't been doing Kegel exercises regularly, this can be really hard to just isolate those muscles. So it is okay to do both until you can find the strength to isolate the muscles just around the vagina. So the first exercise, you can get into your comfortable position, either seated on all fours or lying down, and then picture whatever cue. So for me, I'm going to picture my blueberry, and I'm going to suck it up, and I'm going to hold for up to 10 seconds. So I want you to count and see how long you're able to hold before you get too fatigued and have to release it. And that is your starting number. And so you can write that down, remember it, and then as you practice, you can build up to the 10 seconds. So let's say you make it to 6 seconds. That's how long you're going to attempt to hold it for, and you're going to repeat that 5 times. So you're going to pick it up, hold it, count to 6, fully relax, take a breath, and then you're going to repeat and hold for 6, and you can do that 5 times in a set. The next exercise is working on our fast twitch muscles. So we're going to take a time period of 10 seconds, and we're going to see how many we can do as quickly as possible in that 10 seconds. So you would want to go kegel, 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 counting to 10 seconds. And then you're going to repeat that 5 times. So the next exercise is going to work the anterior or the front of our pelvic floor, which sometimes can be weaker than the posterior side. And so you're going to picture the opening of your vagina, and you're going to visualize moving it forward. And you're going to do that 10 times, relaxing and taking a breath. So fully relaxing in between and then moving it forward. The movement may be very, very little, or it may even be in the beginning more of an energy feeling. But when you practice, as you build up those muscles, you will start to feel it. The next one we're going to work on is just using the isolated muscles around the vagina and trying to leave our back passage muscles out of it. Again, it may be the tiniest movement or more of a feeling of energy, but we want to start to work to be able to isolate those messages. So take 10 times, and just even if it's the slightest movement, try to isolate the muscles around the vagina to do these kegels. Now I'm going to talk about how to do the self-assessment to see if you're doing it correctly. But if you did want a video where I walk through all the exercises and sets with you, I will link to that in the description box below. And if you're on your mobile device, I'll also put a card up there that you can click on to walk through those exercises with me. So to assess whether you're doing it properly, the 3 ways that you can do are you can put your hands on your lower abs, and if you were doing it correctly, you should feel the slightest movement in your low abs, and so you should feel it kind of tightening and coming together just ever so slightly, and that's going to be a cue that you're doing it properly. Another way to do it is to feel the perineum, the skin between your vagina and your anus. And so you can even do this with pants on, especially if they're tights. So you can get down into a comfortable side-lying position, and literally you would just put your hand right there, and as you kegel, you would be able to feel it tightening. And the third way is actually what a pelvic floor physiotherapist would do. And so of course you want to make sure that you have clean hands or gloves on, and you could actually insert 2 fingers into your vagina, and you would want to be able to feel a tightening and lifting when you're doing your kegel. And of course, if you're still not sure, then a pelvic floor physiotherapist will be able to do their assessment and give you individualized direction. If you have any more questions or comments, please feel free to put it in the comments below. And in the description box, I'm also going to put a printout to the exercise if you prefer to look at a printout as you're working through the different exercises. Of course, I will also link to our other free resources. For example, we have the complete guide on how to reduce and cope with pain during birth. We have pregnancy yoga cards, as well as a diastasis recti healing guide for after delivery. If you found this video helpful, please share it with a friend, give it a thumbs up, and leave me a comment to let you know that you liked it. And of course, to support me and get notified, you can subscribe by hitting the round button there. I'm also going to link to the daily routine of pelvic floor exercises there, and then I'll link to the prenatal yoga and fitness playlist there. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Kegels. Yeah.